Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Today we shall be taking a look at the soon-to-be-here update to the professions. Nothing too crazy is coming out in pre-patch, so let's just jump in, take a look, get ourselves familiar before the big, exciting changes arrive in Dragonflight. Professions, the name that brings pain to my soul. You should be one of the strongest forms of content in WoW. Outside of the three main endgame pursuits of PvP, raiding and M+, always there for the casual player, always there as something to fall back on, but yet constantly it falls short. Over the years it has either been too powerful. I'm thinking way back, was it Warlocks in crafted gear at the start of TBC were basically set until Black Temple. Profession buffs have been removed because at times they had to be stacked, they were too powerful. Then we had the annoying changes to loot in BFA, meaning only once you had a higher piece of eye level gear could you trade gear. This meant, yes, guilds would go and everybody would take engineering, they'd craft the bits of engineering they could use, equip that, then they'd swap and they'd be blacksmithing or leatherworking or tailoring or whatever it may be, just so they could get the highest item level possible in those slots so they could trade. So they'd use it, scrap it, and swap away. Whew. We had Warlords of Draenor with the idea that anyone can do anything. You shouldn't need 100 alts. Or as most players just saw it, mobile phone minigame garrison. Yay. In my personal opinion, we hit a high point with Legion. I mean, as we did in many things. Professions were good in Legion, I did like them. With the idea of progressing professions with the star system. Fantastic. Plus some, I will say, amazing quest lines. Some stories that still, and forever, will be high points of WoW for me. And of course we could go on. One I've missed is Gathering at any level. Came in 5.3, I think. But this would be a 5-hour long video if I did everything just on crafting and how it's evolved. And trust, no one wants to hear me go on for that long. The point is, Blizzard have been trying to find the perfect formula for crafting for a long time. With Shadowlands being just, yeah, the latest in a long line of good ideas that have been poorly executed. With Dragonflight, they are stripping away everything. They're going back, looking at what works, what doesn't, they're starting again. And let's not beat around the bush, they're taking ideas from different games. Guild Wars 2 and of course Final Fantasy, which have far better profession systems than we do in WoW. Now much of these changes are coming in Dragonflight, but very much like the new talent tree system, the foundation is being introduced in pre-patch. So what's the first thing we are going to notice? Well, for a start, professions are getting a lovely updated little icon. Which means, for a while, I will not know whereabouts my various profession icons are, because I'm so familiar with them now. But anyway, that's a minor thing for my old man brain to worry about. But once we've clicked on our new funky button, we have a new shiny interface to go along with it. But the core formula is still very much the same. Recipes are located on the left. Required crafting ingredients are on the right. Also on the right, any optional reagents that you wish to add. No doubt, you couldn't help but notice there are some slots up in the top right there. These are the crafting profession gear slots that are coming in Dragonflight. They've been added now, but they really don't serve any purpose at the moment. And yes, even secondary professions gain an item as well. Now by default, your recipe list will always be set to the current expansion and your known recipes. If you want to change this, you simply head to the drop down list here and you can select whatever you want. Different expansions, whether you've got the materials for it, those kind of things. Exactly as we have it now. I will say though, Unlearned has been sort of meshed into this drop down box rather than a separate tab. But I found when you actually select the filter for also to include Unlearned, they are just slightly fainter than the ones you've learned. It's a personal thing, but it'd be nice if this is a much stronger colour to show you do not know these, but you know these ones. Again, it's probably an old man brain thing, and I get that. And once you've finished using the filter function, if you want, just simply click the little cross, and your filter will be reset back to the default. You can also add favourites from all over the place. So it doesn't matter if you love crafting goblin gliders, for instance, you can still do that. But it'll be on your favourites list and it's much easier to gain access to. Also, if you have an item you wish to craft but you don't have all the reagents, you can pin it onto your quest list. This will then show the item and the ingredients that are required to craft it. Handy if you need to get some of these items from the auction house. Now the main bulk of the screen is taken up with the ingredients and reagents section of the selected recipe. This is because certain spells, even in Shadowlands as we know, have a number of components that can be added to them. In Dragonflight this is cranked up to crazy levels and we'll go through that in a separate video. But the real treat that's been added is the ability to add an item that is to be modified. This applies most to professions like enchanting, engineering, etc. Let's say you want to enchant a ring now. You can select this list. An option box shows you all the items that can be enchanted. You select whichever one you want, then click enchant and it's done. And where this really shines is bulk crafting for sale, where you want to apply things to vellum. Sadly there isn't yet the option to craft say 10, and it simply crafts 10 for you, which would be great, please. You still have to click each one at a time, but it is a damn sight easier than it was. Also, one other thing I would like to see added would be some sort of gold or orange highlight around your equipped items when you've selected the list, and it shows you all the items that are eligible to be enchanted or whatever it may be. It just shows all the items that are in your bag. I mean, this is probably more that I need to have less crap in my bags. And speaking of bags, if you're wondering, hang on, whoa, Grim, whoa. I used to like being able to just click enchant and then go to where I wanted to enchant, and that was it. Yes, you can still do that. It is entirely optional if you put anything in that box. If you click enchant, you get your little icon, and you can apply it to whatever you want. So that means you can still enchant your friend's gear or your own gear if something drops for you in a dungeon without having to use that optional box. Now, last of all, you can still offer your services to WoW and Azeroth Beyond by using the chat function. That's been brought back. You can simply click on this and decide where you wish for your services to be announced, and job done. There you go. And that really is about it right now. It's just a UI brush up and overhaul. There's some nice features that have been added in, but there is nothing currently that is world breaking. But we get to know this, we get our foundation set, then we get to deal with all the madness and craziness that is coming in Dragonflight, and that's going to be exciting. But that, I think, is enough for me right now. Thank you everyone for watching. Stay safe, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Ladies, everyone.